So, what do you think about what just happened? Weren't you amazed? You act like you don't know what's happened. Didn't you see that? Didn't you hear that? Didn't you feel that? You didn't, huh? You must think I'm crazy. But I know I'm not. I am Elijah, a prophet of God. That means I am a person who hears special messages from God and tells other people what God wants them to know. Sometimes the news is good, and other times the news is tough. Either way, I guess I'm used to having unusual things happen to me. Are you sure you didn't feel or see or hear anything? Well, I've had a rough time lately. I've been out here in the wilderness for about 40 days. You see, Queen Jezebel is trying to kill me. It's a long story. King Ahab and Queen Jezebel introduced an idol, a fake god named Baal, to God's people, the Israelites. Over time, the Israelite people began to worship and put their trust in Baal. As you can imagine, God did not like this at all. With God's help, I fought the Baal prophets and worked to bring the Israelites back to believing in God. This made Queen Jezebel very angry, and she sent a message that she was going to kill me. All I could do was run. I wasn't sure I could trust anyone. I felt very alone and very frightened. I had no one to protect me. I've been out here for 40 days. I came upon this cave and went inside and fell asleep. God woke me up and asked me what I was doing here. I told God that I was a good servant. I had done all that was asked of me. But I believed myself to be the last one who believed in God. I told God that people were after me and trying to kill me. God asked me to step out of the cave, for God was about to pass by. I did as God asked. Now this is the part I can't believe you missed. I had been standing there for a moment when a fierce wind began to blow. I was sure God was in the wind, and I expected to hear God. But the wind got quiet. God was not in the wind. After the wind stopped, it was quiet and still. Then I started noticing things around me shaking. Suddenly the ground began to shake, and I realized I was in the middle of a great earthquake. I was sure God was in the earthquake, but it stopped. God was not in the earthquake. Then I saw a roaring fire in front of me. I was sure God would be in the fire, but no, God was not in the fire either. Once more, everything was still. Then I heard a quiet whisper. It was God. God asked me again why I was here. I told God people were trying to kill me. God told me to go back to work. I'm getting ready to go to a place near Damascus. God told me I would find 7,000 people there who still believe. God could have chosen to forget about me. Instead, God talked to me in a simple, quiet voice. The wind, the earthquake, and the fire reminded me of God's power, but hearing the still, small voice reminded me God cares about me and has work for me to do. Our God is incredible. Our God is big and powerful, but our God is also loving and personal. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must go and do my work.